we always say that anyone who sits on a chair has a story behind why they came to us. And we want to make sure that every person who sits on a chair will get the best service regardless of who they are. If the passion disappears, I think that's the end of it.
What's the biggest lesson that the Color Bar taught you?
I think the biggest lesson is that when you...
So welcome back to another episode of the Behind the Counter, the podcast that takes you deep into the stories of today's most successful Pinoy business owners. I'm Chester, your host for today. And ngayon guys, we got someone special joining us. If mahilig ka sa hair and beauty, then the Color Bar is no stranger to you and to the market. Apart from their top hair color specialist in the Philippines, they've become the go-to premium salon for many influencers and celebrities. So I'm super happy to welcome you today, the genius behind the Color Bar, si Sir Darwin Cerrado.
Thank you. Thank you, Chester.
Kamusta po sila, sir?
Okay naman. Thank you.
Alright, that's good to know, sir. Now, Sir Darwin, just konting brief introduction lang tayo with Color Bar. Ano po bang business si Color Bar at saka yung locations po ninyo, sir?
Okay. So, the Color Bar is a salon. It's really marketed as a color salon. So, it's a hair color salon. We specialize in hair color, but we're actually a full-service salon. But our specialty is really color. So, but we do all sorts of things. We do cut, styling, even makeup. The reason why it's called Color Bar is because primarily what we do best is really hair coloring. And because there's science to hair coloring, that's how we came up with this business. And it's been around since 2018. So when we first opened our branch in BGC, that was in June 2018. And by this time, 2024, we have 3 branches already. The second one is in Estancia Capitol Commons, and the third one is in Nolito Lifestyle Center, Alabang. So all of which is of course owned by the same people, myself and my partner, and it's been running for 6 years, and it has been committing to the promise of creating the best creations of hair color. And we go by our tagline, which is no matter what color.
Alright, congratulations po talaga, Sir Darwin. So, very successful na.
Thank you.
Kasi, alam niyo naman po, di ba, sir, in the market, kapag sinabing mga 1 to 5 years is medyo shaky pa. Now, after the 5th year and above, pwede na po natin siya sabihin stable, and you're expanding. So, congratulations on that one, Sir Darwin.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Sir Darwin, I heard that your career was far different from what it is na. Ang pagkakarinig ko po is that you're actually a business analytics for a SaaS company before. And you even worked for ABS-CBN, isang local TV station here in the Philippines. So, sir, what was that like? And what made you to transition out from being a corporate from 9 to 5 into building the Color Bar?
Okay, so it's not really 100% transition at this point, So when I was working in the corporate, which I would say I still work in the corporate, it's my background is really business analytics. So I started with analytics, data and analytics, big data, machine learning. I started in that space in year 2000. That's when I worked with SaaS Philippines, a premier software company that sells, of course, implements analytics projects in the Philippines and also worldwide. It's a US-based company. So that has been my space. And so I grew my experience in the industry of business analytics, understanding data, understanding customer behavior, understanding how to analyze information that will be useful for the business. So in 2013, I moved to a practice. Coming from consultancy with SaaS Philippines, I moved to ABS-CBN, and I headed the analytics for ABS-CBN for about 7 years, so until 2020. And I also went back to SaaS in 2020, nung pandemic. So all this time, from year 2000 to current, this has always been my space, business analytics. But, like anyone working in the corporate, anyone working in the companies and corporate industry, there's always been people having dreams of creating and building their own business. And I'm not unique to that, diba? That has always been my dream also. Na parang, I've been working so hard with all these companies. I want to put my earnings into something that I can build and, create a business. Of course, not everyone is lucky. Everyone also struggles in creating businesses. But of course, when we came up with the Color Bar in 2018, there was something to tell. There was a story to tell. There was a good product to sell, a good service that we can really capitalize on. So we started that business. When you start a business, you just, for the most of it, you just become a dreamer, diba? You want to grow. I don't really have a grand plan at the time in terms of the business. Because I was working, I was doubling up between the business and also my work, diba? Pero of course, the dream has always been at some point in time I would retire to the business. That I would just focus on the business. So that has always been my direction. It got derailed because the pandemic happened. I've always wanted to do that even before the pandemic. So I think this year was the right time. So this year I'm now focused mostly on heading the business development side of the Color Bar, which is a business that we established in 2018. Now, is it any different in terms of the space? Of course, whatever experience I had in business analytics and understanding data, understanding customers, yun din naman yung ginagamit ko ngayon in terms of running the business. It's actually that understanding of how the market works is helping me a lot in terms of running the business. Of course, I'm not a hair colorist. My partner deals with that. I'm not a good face also to the business because I don't have hair, so obviously, diba? But I'm the brains behind it in terms of business development. So together with my partner, it's a good match between the creative that he brings to the table and my side of the table, which is really managing the business from data perspective, which is really my strength given my 20 plus years experience in business analytics.
So yun po talaga yung forte, kumbaga nila sa business analytics. Tama po na. Alright.
Yes.
Now sir, sabi mo 2018 po kayo nagsimula as a studio in one of your condos. Tama po ba yun, sir?
Well, that studio actually started 2016.
2016. Alright.
Yeah, when 2016 we started doing, kasi we were trying to, we were testing the market. We'll see whether this is something that's going to work. I have a space, I have an extra condominium unit that I said, okay, let's convert that to a studio. And, we were doing by word of mouth. We don't have walk-ins. We don't have really a storefront. It's just really, friends of friends of friends coming to us, having to do hair color. And that was the start of it until we decided to really open up a storefront and call it the Color Bar in 2018.
Alright. So, paano po kayo nakapag-transition from a studio into a full-blown salon?
Well, it's always been the dream naman talaga to really build that salon. But of course, we wanted to see the market and we don't do things naman without intentions. So when we were doing that in 2016 and doing it in the studio, we were already eyeing for that opening up a salon, that dream, diba? And so all the things that we were doing in 2016, 2017 when we started the studio was really to prepare us for that. So I think all the experiences, we listen to the customers, we understand the needs of the market. We were also, sharpening our talents, making sure that we do the best, we deliver the right service. We now understand the products to use. A lot of those things we got to learn when we were doing the studio business at the time. And so when we felt like we're ready, that's when we said, okay, we'll do it. And, we were also ready with the money. We started investing. It was an investment between the two of us. And so that's why when we opened in 2018, we kind of know now what to do. Of course, you get into something, there's still that blind spot that you're not so sure of. But, it's what it is, diba? You get to learn, you get to explore, and you'll never be ready naman talaga to something until you try it, diba? So even when we felt like we were ready in 2018, we felt like we learned also a lot of more things that, over the course of these years, we never stopped learning. So even up to this point, talagang we continue to evolve. We continue to look at how we can further the business. So never got to a point na parang ready, but it's just that, we have the guts and the courage to say we can already start the business in 2018.
Alright, so parang talagang mag-gut feel mo na naman talaga yun, sir, di ba? With all the experience and all na parang, parang, eto na, ready na tayo.
Saka when you have a story to tell, when you have something to say, when you feel like, there's something that you can offer in the market that's really good, I think that's a good sign. Kasi when you have something to really offer that's different and that you can tell a different story, I think that's a good sign that, it's about time that you need to be heard, diba?
All right. Now, going back with that one, no, sir, what's the reason you decided to open up a hair salon like the Color Bar? Yung sinasabi mong, meron ka ba nakitang gap in the market that you want to really address? Or parang nakita nating opportunity to address for that one, Sir Darwin?
It didn't really start that way, It was really parang matching lang what we have in terms of, like what I said, the story to tell and the talent to share in terms of how we should approach the market. It didn't really start na parang I have a grand plan naman to adjust something and change the world. No, it wasn't like that. It just I guess it started with my partner. My business partner, is also my life partner. He studied hair in the U.S., hair coloring. I studied in Paul Mitchell School, the school in San Diego, California. He was he got the license for cosmetology in the U.S. So, and then when we were thinking of what to do with that knowledge, diba? And of course, the next thing to do is really, monetize it. And so when that studio came out, and then we started doing the business from a small condominium unit in BGC, and we also then got exposed to the market. It's just really a matter of being in the know and understanding where we are, what space we're coming into. Sort of like parang came into place. So by the time we were about ready to do it in 2018, we have a brand that we want to be able to expand, and we need to be consistent with that brand. Diba? So doon lang siya nagsimula. It really started with a talent that we want to share, and then really, really understanding and getting exposed into the market and seeing what is it that we can offer in the market. Now, going back to your question in terms of why do we decided it's a hair color salon, primarily more than anything else, because that's also the strength of my partner, hair coloring. And plus also, if you match it with the market then, there's no salon at that time that was really focused on hair coloring. Most of the salons are generalists. They do everything, including color. And then we said we wanted to differentiate. But it's not because we wanted to differentiate without having something. It's because it's really the differentiator. So parang talagang nag-match siya dun sa plan namin.
Now, for this one also, I remember lamang, sir, nung nag-open kayo, the Color Bar was an instant hit talaga. There are actually, sabihin natin mga big brands like Mega Magazine, Unilever, and P&G were partnering up with you left and right. So, how did you achieve such big success in a short amount of time po?
Again, not planned. We just set out there. We prepared for our branding. We wanted to make sure that my thinking is always that, if you decide to get into something, whether it's a business or a hobby or anything, you need to give everything yourself, right? You cannot be half-baked. So, and that has always been my mantra ever since, everything is meaningful. All relationships are meaningful, diba? You deal with your friends, you give out everything, kumbaga parang it's a nice way to live your life when everything that you do, you give out everything, diba? So that was also the same mantra that I did with the business. So when we were opening the business, I said, okay, we're going to go to the business and we're going to do this hair color salon in BGC. Then we have to be really out there and, we have to speak to the market. So given my background in analytics, I think that helped a lot. Because there's a story to tell, I really wanted to match it with what I know about the market, understanding the customer. So we are very heavy with our marketing. We were, I was heavy with digital marketing without really aiming for anything. It's really just because we wanted to make sure we maximize what we have. But, I guess maybe luck as well. And maybe I think we're telling a good story that in about 6 months that we were open, we were being approached by big brands already. Like I said, Mega Magazine came to us in 2018 and invited us to be a partner for the Mega Fashion Week. Diba? So parang we were a new kid on the block and we were tapped, di ba? And like I said, any interactions has to be meaningful, and we want to make sure that we make the most out of it. We're a new kid on the block. We're as we don't change the man with our with our intentions, with and how we deal with people. We ask things like, how did you find out about us? What did you, I mean, what are the things that you saw on us? And of course, all of these things are data. So even my background and data comes into play because I need to put some reasons to all of this so that I can analyze and see what works, what doesn't work. So siguro yun yung that helped a lot.
Strengths.
It became a very strong foundation for me that, if somebody approached us, I need to understand why, what's in it that you saw with us, because those are data that I can collect and, at least validate what I'm doing and what we're doing and, find out what are good and what are not. So I guess that kind of combination of being self-aware plus the fact that, we're giving it all out, we're not half-baked, and we're delivering the right service and, a good story to tell, and our understanding of the market and the knowledge sort of, come into play in terms of making sure that the brand is out there. And just by doing that, I guess, people got to know us, and, these brands came to us as well.
All right. So parang sa simula pa lang, sir, you guys were very particular with your niche, target audience, and branding na din po. Now, for that one, sir, we have noticed that you're very also active in social media. What are the tried and tested social media and digital marketing strategies and that really help you grow the Color Bar?
This day and age, kasi talaga you cannot ignore na social media, di ba? You cannot ignore the power of digital marketing kasi a lot of people, especially when pandemic happened, especially everyone was on their phones, di ba? Was going through socials. And of course, if you want to be a brand that is known, sometimes the story, the word of mouth happens there, di ba? It happens in the social media. Sometimes, like I always say that, a good service, when you don't take a picture of it, it didn't happen. So that became part of the strategy to really maximize what we can do and what we can leverage in the digital marketing. And digital marketing is it's not just social media, diba? It's everything that you can do through digital. And I also recognize that not all businesses or not all brands are fit with social media. And I think we're lucky that a salon or the creations of salons are good with social media marketing in digital marketing, because you work with creations that you can take pictures of and that you can post, diba? And Instagram then was very hit in 2018. So parang it's something that we said, okay, if we're gonna invest on marketing, this will be the route to go through digital and to go through word of mouth, to go through people, raving about us and letting people know that we do the good work. I always say that, consumers now are the platform or the landscape that has evolved for us as a business. Yung business landscape has changed tremendously, di ba? Na parang if you're a business, if you're a small business, small, medium businesses, you're really out there. People will review you, di ba? If you once false move, you get a 1-star review, di ba? And that's part of the digital landscape that you get to be seen out there, di ba? And the nature of the customers is normally when they're not happy, you will not hear the last of it, right? They will review.
Post natin yan.
But when they're happy, di naman sila nagre-review, di ba? So I guess that kind of understanding of how consumers work, you really have to navigate on that. That's basically what to me is digital marketing and understanding social. It's not just really understanding the platform. It's really understanding the customer. So I think that combination of really how do you, like I said a while ago about the story to tell and how you navigate this new landscape, this is very important.
And comment ko lang, sir, that ang daming na rin hair salon, sabi mo kanina, here in the Philippines, but the Color Bar was truly able to set itself apart from the rest because as the expert in hair coloring technology. Now, sir, I just would like to ask lang naman, what are your thoughts about influencer marketing, Sir Darren?
Oh, I have high respect on influencer marketing. I know it works. Of course, you have to study your market. There are certain products and services that are very strong and that needs really help on influencer marketing, depending on your target market. but there are also products and services that, not necessarily can leverage on it, diba? But, if you do that, you get the right sweet spot on how to use influencer marketing, you get to reap the benefit out of it, diba? Ako lang, I really would have loved for influencers to be organic. When I say organic, I want the brand love to be mutual. Ano, yung parang they love us and we love them, and then we work together, diba? And they love us because we do good works, diba? There has to be that authentic love, and it will show with the way these people, these influencers will talk about you or post you. Kung hindi authentic yung love, and if it's very transactional, makikita mo rin yun. And parang, alam mo yan, parang they're just out there because they were tapped to work with you and partner with you for one transaction, and that's it, diba? Kita mo rin yun. So ako, I believe in it, pero I would have loved it to be more deeper. Kumbaga, the organic, the love is there, diba? It cannot be like very transactional. So I like influencer marketing, but I like it when it's organic and there's real love, brand love. If it's transactional, I gotta kind of get iffy about it. Not so sure if I like that kind of influencer marketing that you get very transactional. But I really love it to be something, because it stays longer. That relationship stays longer. When you really love the brand, you'll keep coming back. Diba? No amount of people telling you to go to the other salon and do you have another transaction there? And don't ka naman because if you really love it, you'll say, no, I'll stick with this one. Diba? So, yun yung gusto ko talaga. So, that's my thought around it.
And just to put a note on that, no, mararamdaman din kasi ng mga tao or actually yung mga viewers nila kung it's just ginagawa nila ito because may nakukuha or talagang happy sila with that particular partnership.
Yeah. As a consumer, I think that's very obvious. And for a brand, for a service, na kung ba, alam mo, you're self-aware that your market is the intelligent market or the one who's very critical, then you know that your audience is also very critical when it comes to these things.
So, hindi madaling maging business owner. It has its own ups and downs, and a lot of our listeners, viewers, can actually go ahead and relate on this one. Now, sir, dumating na ba sa point na parang has been a time that you thought of giving up? Like, sabihin natin, ay, medyo talo na, lugi na, ayoko na, suko na. How did you overcome that, sir?
I think everyone came to that point during the pandemic, diba? Noong 2020, 2021. That was really tough, not just for us, but for everyone. So I guess a consolation that I was feeling then, that it was not unique to us. Everyone was feeling it. That was the year that, as salons, there were masks that we're not allowed to operate, diba? There were masks and we were allowed to operate, but we were only allowed to do certain things, which were not enough to pay for bills, diba? So it was really tough. It was a very tough 2 years. And it also came at a time that we just invested on our second branch. So parang it also added to that pressure. But I guess because it's a business that my partner and I really conceptualize, we love working with our people. We found ways, and then I won't detail that, but there's a lot of those ways that helped us really, kumbaga parang survive those times, And a lot of it was also because you were thinking of our employees, want to make sure that they're well taken care of during pandemic. Kasi kami lang naman din na magtutulungan, di ba? And it's that genuine love with each one another to make sure that, we take care of this company. It's not just the two of us, but all of us. And may tatawid natin to. So, and it's why it wasn't easy. Because you're right, during that time, when the financials were not really doing well, it was difficult. We're not a big brand where we can mahaba yung PC namin. We just started in 2018 diba? But we really have to find ways, we have to dig deep into some of our investments in terms of relationships to make sure we maximize things that we've done with them in the past to work with us and help us during those times. So, yung pandemic was really the years where it was difficult, and kind of get to the point that, okay, should we continue or not? Pero it's still, nanaig pa rin yung our desire to really improve and continue.
So, with that, Sir Darwin, what do you think is your biggest achievement that you have so far? And sabihin po natin, paano po kayo nakarating doon and what are the lessons that you learned along that way?
I guess yung dream of, having to set up your own business is one of the things that I would say I'm proud of, because it was a dream and it happened, diba? And this is something that not everyone is able to do. So I guess that's it for myself. But I haven't really thought of an answer to that question ever since. But because I as a dreamer, I don't stop dreaming. Eh. Parang to me, whatever it is that I've achieved in the past, or a lot of it is hard work, a lot of it is also luck. Hindi ko rin masabi na parang, I've had a good hand of these things. A lot of these are just falling into the right place. But mind you, I'm not naman uber successful. I also have like failures, and I won't claim that. I'd be the last person to say that. I mean, there's a lot of demons in me as well that that I had to deal with as we go through life. So I really don't know the answer to that. Actually, I don't have an answer to what makes. But for the business in itself, I think the time that we went through pandemic, and when 2022 came and we started seeing the recovery, well, up to this point, we're still recovering because, there's a lasting effect of that pandemic was quite big, diba? It was a good, kumbaga parang a good validation that we are doing what we are doing. We're doing the right thing with the business. And that most of our employees stay with us and they're still with us. And the way we've matured our business in the last 6 years and the way we run it as a real company, I think that's a good fit for us.
All right. And with that follow-up question, sir, for you po, what's the biggest lesson that the color word taught you in life or as a whole?
I think I go back to what I said earlier, that when you do something, you really have to give it all yourself, all out, diba? Kasi when you get into a business and you're half-baked, it's not, even you're half-baked, you reap the same thing, diba? Whatever you invest on, it's the same thing that you reap out, diba? So I think the biggest lesson is that when you try to do something, when you get yourself into something, you give it your best.
You're 101%. All right. Thank you po for that. Now, if you look back on the years when you first started, Sir Darwin, and let's say you have a chance to give one advice to your past selves, ano po kaya yun, sir?
One advice to my past selves.
Mm-hmm.
Well, something more personal, I think, is if you have to take care of your health, kasi like everyone says, health is wealth, diba? When you look back and you realize when you achieve success, when you achieve that kind of level of confidence that you can do certain things, that kind of courage that you want to do something else, you want to invest in something, you've been working so hard and now you're ready. By the time you do that, you're already old. You're nearing your 50 or in your mid-40s, and syempre sometimes the heart is still willing, the mind is very willing, but sometimes the body is not so willing. So I think if I can go back and tell my younger self is, brace yourself. Bracing yourself means take care of yourself physically, so that when the time that you're the wisdom has evolved in you, you have the energy to actually go out there and share it with everyone.
Right. All right. Thank you very much for that. Now, sir, Sir Darwin, as I heard you earlier, is that you're working with your partner. Tama po ba yun, sir? Paano mo, sir, nababalance yung personal and yung professional life? Especially nowadays. Kasi are there times na, syempre, mag-aaway kayo sa bahay and then hindi kayo magpapansinan sa office or vice versa? How did you overcome that one po, sir?
I still haven't overcome it. It's a, it's a normal thing that happens to us. But but I think there's a shared passion that we have together. Na parang we dream together, and I guess it's not gonna stop naman. I mean, we're two passionate people, eh. And I think if you're with passion comes intense care, di ba? And I'm okay with that. I'm good with that. And I think he's also okay with that. I understand that because the moment we stop caring, then wala na, di ba? But we're two passionate people that we care so much about these things, and these things happen on a day-to-day basis. But it's not something that will stop us or derail us or change our course. But I kind of accept it na if you put two passionate people into something, there's gonna be a lot of them. But that's a good thing. To me, that's a good thing because if the passion disappears, I think that's the end of it.
So it really helps din po talaga that you have both of you being passionate and having one common goal for the business. Tama po ba yun, sir?
Yeah.
Now, Sir Darwin, what's the most underestimated part of running the business that entrepreneurs should pay more attention to? Like an advice that you would like to give out to our listeners or to our audience po?
Well, when you run a business, you have to look at everything, diba? From the finance to HR to everything. It's not easy to run a business, but I guess the most important thing is for you as a business owner to have an appreciation and acceptance of what you can and you cannot do, because you cannot do everything. If you run a business and you say, "Oh, I wanna save on money. I'll be the one to do HR. I'll be the one to do finance," and you're that one person who owns and you run everything, stop, because it's not gonna work. You have to understand and accept that you're not good at these things. You're not a good HR person. You're not good with people. You're not good with finance, because there are other people who can do that for you better, and you better off paying them to do that for you. So, I think that's the one key thing, is to make sure you put out the right investments to make sure all of these are covered when you run the business.
All right. So, running with your strengths ang pinapayo po ni Sir Darwin to our listeners for that one. Now, since na-discuss na naman natin yung pagiging underestimated, how about now, sir, what's your favorite part about running the Color Bar?
My favorite part is that it's our baby. So parang it's something that we've been taking care of in terms of how we speak out in the market, our branding. So my favorite part is really the brainstorming, the business development. What else can we do? What else can we do with our people? What else can we do with making sure that everyone is happy? So when you run a business, ang dami kasing components, eh, diba? Parang you need to make sure that you have employee engagement, you have business development, you have good marketing, and I guess the idea that you're doing it for something that you love, something that you've invented, something that you have created, and you're seeing that it's working. I think that's the best part for me.
All right. So now, sir, ano naman kaya yung masasabi mong the one thing you hate most about running the business?
Oh, well, I wanted to say the time kasi walang time, di ba? Parang every day, but hindi man ako nagrereklamo because, if it's something that you want to do kasi, I believe that, if there's always time for something that we like to do, Pero I guess that's it lang, yung oras lang talaga na wala kang, my brain works 24/7. So even when I'm about to sleep, I think of something, I need to write it because I might forget. Alam mo yun? Parang because it's something that, what I try to do lang, syempre, I have to respect other people's time. That's me. that's how I work. But, I realize that, my people doesn't work that way. Like, I don't want to be, pag naisip nila ako, sila ite-text. I think that's unfair for them naman. So, I guess that's it. It's not an 8 to 5 job. It's like a 24/7 thing that you have to work on.
Opo, totoo naman sir that sometimes talagang you feel na kulang yung oras sa isang araw to cover up all the things that you would like to have for your idea, to run the business, tapos hobbies and yung mga gusto mo pang mangyari within the day. Minsan kulang na oras para sa business.
Yeah, and also your velocity kasi and your speed and your ideas are all dependent on you, diba? if you thought of something and you want to do this project, you can say, I want to do this in a week, or you can also say, I can only do this in 2 months. Tapos nakasalalay sa'yo, diba? Parang
clear naman po sir. Right. Now, Sir Darwin, how do you manage 3 branches now? Are there any tools or strategies that you and your team use po ba?
Well, when we set forth with the business naman, when we started the branch in 2018, there was one branch in BGC. We already designed it in such a way that we have all the systems in place that will be ready for us to expand. So, kumbaga parang that's also already in the horizon that we will expand. And so when we expand, we want to make sure that all our systems are in place. So when we opened in 2018, we have all the systems in place now. And so when we're expanding, it was an easy expansion because, we share the same, it's just a branch, but, we offer the same service, we offer the same quality. We want to make sure that our customers can go from one branch to another and their records are in place. We want to make sure that when customers come to us, we have a record of what we did to them, anong ginawa namin the last time, and because we wanted to make sure that they feel like we know them very well. But also the systems help us do that. So that thing of managing the branches, I guess that growth has always been there, that we know that we're going to grow. So in that so being, we said that, all our systems should be in place. But, of course, as we traverse this, marami nagbabago. We have to also adapt to the things that we learn, and we need to create new systems for those things that needed some attention.
All right. Thank you, po. Now, Sir Darwin, what are the hardest part about running your business on the day-to-day operation po? And how do you handle them?
We're a service company, diba? We provide services. So the operations is quite taxing for us, for a company that wants to make sure that we deliver the best. We are very high on customer experience. We want to make sure that our customers have the same experience wherever branch they go. We want to make sure that we deliver the good service, best service. So that's a bit taxing, yung that kind of operations. Kasi maraming nangyayari doon on the background. And of course, consistency is key, and making sure that people are diligent in making sure that our operations are running well. But we're all humans, so sometimes we make mistakes, we make errors, and with a passionate company, that's simply it has to be called out. Very passionate, and we don't take things sitting down. So because of that, very hands-on, very detailed. Joff, my partner, is very detailed with the services that are being delivered. Ako naman, very detailed on how we run the operations and support the team. So ganon, it's not like you can rest. It's new things, new experiences are what makes us strive even more.
Now, for our listeners and viewers that doesn't know, a lot of other hair salons in the Philippines like hiring foreign hairstylists. Pero iba si the Color Bar. So you guys focus on hiring local talent. Tama po ba yun, sir? Can you tell us more about that?
Well, yes. Kasi we believe that, the Filipinos are also, they need to be given the chance to really show off their talent. So we also believe kasi na marami talaga magagaling sa Pilipinas. They're not given the chance lang. So that's why, aside from the fact that, that it's easier on the on the pocket, diba? On the operations. But then again, more than that, I think there's a lot of good talents kasi in the Philippines eh. Hindi lang talaga nabibigyan ng chance, diba? So, and Joff and I are believers of that. Joff is Filipino, diba? So, of course, we compete out there and there's a lot of foreigner stylists, and we want to make everyone be aware that, we can also deliver the same service or even better. But not to not to really criticize that, but I think that also works in a lot of good ways. But just want to say that there's a lot of good talents in the Philippines.
Yun. And well, thank you kasi you're paving way to honor those talents for our mga Filipinos na may talaga namang kakayahan in order for parang ma-express nila or mailabas nila yung best nila in a certain industry po. Thank you, sir, for that. Now, it's also just important to manage your team correctly. What values or systems do you use to make sure your team is motivated po and performing at its best no matter what? Baga lagi dapat optimum level, sir.
We of course we've set up a team, and this team also is basically that everyone working in the company, and from day one we have an HR department that's taking care of our people. We have messages, we have culture that we set forth in the company, and a lot of the culture that we set forth in the company centers towards delivering the good service, the best service, customer experience. And that's something that we keep on harping on with everyone. So I guess that the system is very personal in a lot of ways when making sure that you want your people to deliver the best. It's really us setting good examples. It's really us talking to them all the time. It's an open communication. It's making them part of it, empowering them, making them part of the conversations. So all of these things are part of the program that we want to impress to everyone as part of our culture, and ganon kami magtrabaho eh. So, and I've seen also that, if you want to deliver good service, you need to have happy employees. Diba? So we want to make sure that we set a good working environment for everyone.
Moving on, Sir Darwin, is that you, as the Color Bar, you have a long list of clientele, and marami sa kanila ay mga beauty queens, influencers, and even celebrities. How do you attract such high-profile customers, sir? And what are the steps you took to make this happen?
There's no one formula. It's really just, delivering the best service every time, regardless whether they're celebrities or not, whether they're paying through vouchers or discounted or not. We always say that anyone who sits on a chair has a story behind why they came to us. And we want to make sure that every person who sits on a chair will get the best service regardless of who they are. Kaya nga yung mantra namin is no matter what color. So that's the only thing that we, impress to everyone within our team. And whether we've attracted this, high-profile clients is not really a strategy that we planned for. Ganun lang. Wala talaga kaming kailangan mga yung high profile. Hindi naman ganun. It's really anyone who comes to our salon will be treated equally.
Sir Darwin, have you tried like yung mga strategies na hindi pa successful, and what did you learn from it? Meron po ba kayong mga try na?
Madami.
Any notable, sir?
Madami over the years kasi it's been 6 years eh. We've done a lot of tries, new projects, and then we said, it's gonna be so taxing to do this. Marami kaming mga ginawang ganyan. And kami naman, we're quick to decide. If it's not working, then we have to stop it, di ba? Basta lagi kaming consistent na it's all about delivering the best customer experience. So, well, there's a lot of those things that we tried in the past. Nagwork, hindi nagwork. Siguro, one of which is, we tried doing loyalty programs where they will incur points and redeem. I find it so taxing lang in terms of, managing it, and I didn't see the value of doing such effort versus what's the return in the business and all, but could have been good for fewer people lang. So I said, okay, let's move out of it and let's just do instant gratification. So that one I easily decided. I said, okay, I'll do cashback instead. So yun, mga ganon na, and I think it's because of yun nga, it's because of my innate core on data analytics that helps me make those decisions faster. Hindi naman ako nagde-decide on a whim. I study it, I look at the data, and then I say, okay, maybe we should do this. And I don't, yun, mga ganon, mga few projects. But maybe that's a good example that I can share. Of course, I think for others it will work. I just want to share lang to the listeners that this is for our business, but so other businesses it works, diba? Sometimes restaurants really are good with loyalty programs, but I guess to the kind of business that we have, it's a bit taxing.
Taxing, all right. And with that, I just would like to have a follow-up question, no? What's one specific mistake that you made that became a valuable lesson for you and your business?
Siguro yung yung I always thought kasi before na when you go out there in social media and digital, diba, you're really out there and people are gonna talk about you, diba? You cannot be too much affected by what other people say. You have to really understand that these things happen and that you're only human and sometimes you make mistakes, diba? The important thing is that you learn from it. You can speak about it. You have that side of the story. There's always context, whatever someone is gonna say, and not be affected about it. So it's not really something that, that brought me to do something very drastic. But I guess for anyone who's running a business, for your mental health and your wellness, well-being, don't get affected about it. Just move on. Make sure you learn from it. Sayang kasi yung mga mistakes if you don't learn from it, diba? The reason why there are mistakes, the reason why there are these things is because you need to learn from it. If you don't learn from it, sayang. I guess it happens, but it's really about making sure that everybody can learn from what happened.
Correct. Kasi sir, di ba naman, if you made the mistake at hindi ka natuto doon, baka mauulit at mauulit ka. Mauulit at mauulit yan. Not unlike if you learned from that, so papunta pa lang doon sa pagkakamali na yon, alam mo na, para may contingency plan ka na in order for it not to happen again. All right. Now, speaking of social media, sir, what part does social media and branding play in getting and retaining your customers?
Well, branding is very important kasi you need to have an identity, diba? And to me, that's very important. When you run a business, you have to be self-aware. You need to know who you are. You need to know exactly what the brand is about, diba? And you need to be consistent. Kasi if you're not consistent, then if you're confused, then you confuse the market as well, diba? So I think branding is very important. And kaya rin kami, when we started the business in 2018, that was the first thing that I did. If we're gonna brand this, what will it be? And so we went through a brand study talaga. And ever since that brand book that we developed with a partner is what we're it's like a Bible in terms of how we talk to the market. So that's how important branding is to me. Social media is very important because that's the landscape now, diba? I mean, people are in it, on it, all the time, most of the time, diba? Parang, so ako, I personally, I have my personal accounts, but most of the time, I just manage my business account, diba? To make that sure that we have that presence. Like ko sinasabi kasi na sometimes the age now is when you do something nice, if you don't talk about it out there, it's hidden, diba? So it's always, you have to embrace it. Make sure, this is the landscape now. This is how things are being done. So you have to be part of it. I guess that's how I look at the business. It's not something I'm afraid of. It's not something that I run away from. It's something that I embrace. And there's goods and bads. There are good things and bad things in social media, diba? But always just, if you're very self-aware, you know how to use it for the good part.
All right, thank you po. Now, we've come to our segment na sabihin po ba natin, Sir Darwin, ready ka na ba for a fun challenge lang naman?
Sige.
All right, so it's a time for a game That is called rapid fire questions. So how this works is that we'll ask questions and you have to answer the first thing that comes in mind. Okay po ba tayo dun, sir?
Sure. Okay.
So, bilisan tayo, sir, ha? So, cut or color?
Color.
Straight or curly?
Straight.
Short or long?
Long.
Blow dry or air dry?
Blow dry.
Updo or down?
Down.
Layers or one length?
Layers.
Ito, medyo ni-research ito kagabi para paano to sabihin eh. Highlights or balayage?
Balayage. I said it right.
Bangs or no bangs?
Ako, no bangs.
Natural shades or gusto mo, sir, is vibrant colors?
Vibrant colors.
Last one, ash tones or warm tones?
Warm tones.
All right, thank you very much for those rapid fire questions. Now, I got a few more questions to ask before we wrap up today's show, sir. So, 2024. What does 2024 and beyond looks like for the Color Bar?
Well, we just opened the third branch last year, di ba? Yung Molito branch. Of course, we want to make sure that, we do well with all the branches. That will continue on. That's really delivering the best service that we can give to our customers. There could be expansions along the way. Of course, that doesn't stop in terms of our business development. We are celebrating our 6th year anniversary this month in June. And one of the things that we are offering now is we're conducting a free masterclass on hair coloring. So we wanted to see how we can teach the knowledge, diba? And it's free. It's a free masterclass and people can enroll. And so this is something that we wanted to venture into. But the first venture is a free masterclass. So hopefully, we get a lot of enrollees. It's going to happen in July. And that's the next one that we're looking into.
Ayan, some of viewers natin out there that would like to learn about the masterclass, di ba? Grab that chance na. So, stay tuned sa The Color Bar. Sir, meron ka pa bang any gusto pang i-share, like final thoughts or ano pa, to what is to come for The Color Bar po natin?
I guess, well, the business at hand, I mean, of course, I talk about how we do our business, but it's not all the time rosy naman, di ba? Parang there's a lot of challenges. So I guess anyone who are into creating your own business, just be mindful of your core, understand what is it, the story that you want to tell, just be consistent with it, create your own branding, and once you're consistent, and like I said, when you give yourself 100% into it, chances are things will go well. But it's not without challenges. So, I guess I hope I was able to share those insights lang na it's never rosy. It's never 100% good all the time. I come into this podcast this morning. I was just in a meeting where we were just heated discussions on certain things, but it's a lot. These things really happen. So, just make sure that you're ready for it.
All right. So really, it has ups and downs, but with your advice, better be prepared in all aspects. All right. And now, sir, it's your turn. Ikaw naman po ang pwede mapagpahirap sa ating magiging next na guest for our podcast. What would you like to ask our next guest po?
Siguro the question that I want to ask is, with your current business or current brand, what do you think is the most appropriate next venture that can maximize the brand that you have established?
Alright, so hopefully our next guest would be able to answer that question on our next episode. That it is for today. Thank you very much, Sir Darwin, for joining us at the Behind the Counter.
Thank you.
We had so much fun, and sir, thank you for your insights, thank you for your advice, kasi totoo naman, marami po kami natutunan. Di lamang ako, definitely our viewers, our listeners would be able to relate and hopefully pick up those messages that you would like to give out to them.
Thank you very much, Esther.